people, welcome to the Arising channel, and this is Oswatch Favor. So if you're on this channel right now, thank you for being here, and if you've not subscribed, just click on the subscribe button below to subscribe and be a part of this. And if you've subscribed, then thank you for always being here, thank you for always being part of this. So today we are looking at a topic that is really important to this time and season, that is important to the life of our teenagers and that of the youth and even everybody at large. So I believe it will be helpful. Today we are looking at a topic titled Addiction Among Teenagers. Make sure you watch this video to the end. I'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back. And like I said earlier, we're looking at the topic titled Addiction Among Teenagers. Firstly, what is addiction? Addiction is the urge to do something that is unable to control or stop. This is when you keep doing and repeating a certain behavior that you're unable to control or you're unable to stop. So but we are really focusing on drug addiction for this episode. So what is drug addiction? Drug addiction is also known as substance use disorder, which is SUD. It is a relapsing disorder that involves compulsive use of drugs or alcohol consumption, in which an individual is unable to quit or back up even when it is affecting his or her life negatively, even when it has a negative impact on such a life. That is really when you can say, okay, this person is addicted to this thing, when they are unable to cut off, even despite the fact that it is impacting their life in a negative way, in a way that seems beyond their control. That is when we can talk about addiction. So I have here in my notes a few definitions of addiction, the brief history of addiction, and also the statistics of addiction even in Nigeria. So follow me and make sure you listen closely. So addiction, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, is defined as a compulsive, chronic, physiological or psychological need for a habit-forming substance behavior or activities having harmful physical, psychological or social effects and typically causing well-defined symptoms such as anxiety, irritability, tremors or nausea upon withdrawal or abstinence. This is like, you see the effect of this even when they try to stop it. So that is when you can say that, okay, this is addiction. I also have the definition according to Wikipedia by saying that it is a neuropsychological disorder characterized by a persistent and intense urge to engage in certain behavior, often usage of drugs, despite substantial harm and other negative consequences. From this brief introduction of addiction, we can really explain, we can really tell what addiction is. It is like giving us a better knowledge of what we can call addiction. There are times that you see people and they just say, I like doing this and I'm addicted to it. That's not really addiction. It has to be, it is an addiction if it has a negative impact on your life and if it is something you're unable to control even when you really want to. And when we talk about drug addiction, you find people that are really addicted to drugs that whenever they say, okay, I want to turn a new leaf, I want to stop this thing, you always, when they stop taking it at that moment, there's always these symptoms of withdrawal and abstinence, like they react to it. You can see some of them, they get really sick just at the fact that they've not taken that particular drug, or because they've not used, or because they've not consumed the alcohol that they are used to, that their body has gotten so familiar with. That is when we can say that they are really addicted. So now we are going to look at the brief history of addiction. How did this happen? How did we have it like so rampant in our society nowadays? Where did it start from? Where did addiction start from? The use of alcohol, the use of drugs, where exactly did it come from? So we'll be looking at that. I know this program is really knowledgeable. It expands your knowledge about it. Some of us, we know about addiction, but we don't really know where it started from. So this program will enable you to know where it started from, what happened, what led to what. So don't just turn off the dial, don't just go to another video, just wait and listen to this. So the brief history of drug abuse. Substance abuse goes back further than 500,000 BC. That is before Christ. It has been before Christ, 5,600 before Christ. In places like China, alcohol beverages like wine are mentioned in writings from 1046 to 221 BC. The instances of alcohol and drug use were first recorded in Armenia, ancient Greece, Rome, Soma, and China. These are the places where addiction really came out from. We have Armenia, ancient Greece, Rome, Soma, and China. The first recorded winery was discovered in Armenia and can be traced back to 7000 BC. The Greeks and Romans made their mark on the history of drug abuse. Alcohol was often used as an offering to their gods in religious rituals. Consulting the oracles was also common in this period. The oracles of ancient Greece and Rome were women believed to be chosen by the gods to relay messages and prophecies from the spiritual realm. Oftentimes, those women would use mind-altering drugs like mushrooms and cannabis in their practices. Like they have to use all this mind-altering drugs when they want to enter the spiritual realm, just because they want to give prophecies and they want to relay messages to the gods. So that was really why they started using this drug in the ancient Greece. Around 3400 BC, the Sumerians discovered the opium plant and were the first people recorded to have used it for medicinal purpose. So it was first for medicinal purpose in Sumeria. That is the opium drug. They first started using it for medicinal purpose before it led to something else. So let's go further. Opium was orally taken at first, but smoking it became the common practice after its effects were found to be stronger. These people believed they were using this opium for medicinal purpose, but of course they were taking it orally. But when they saw that smoking it was even more effective, like it was more like, now it makes them feel more better about themselves. So they resorted to smoking it and taking it orally, and the main aim for this was that it was for medicinal purpose. The drug eventually incited conflicts between Great Britain and China, with morphine and cocaine following suit in the 19th century. Eventually, opium made its way to the United States from China. Since then, heroin was created, through which it also spread into other countries. So we can see that the main root of all this can be the countries whereby we can trace this back to is Armenia, ancient Greece, Rome, Soma, and China. They were using it for like at first, they made it for like those that were using it for medicinal purposes. But what happened? Why did they leave using it orally to take it to seeing that okay, smoking it is better? This were where we had this resulted to what we have today, where we see people addicted to it. And when they saw that it made them feel good about themselves. That's one thing about drug. Once you take it the first time and you feel its effect, it makes you feel good about yourself. You can say that okay, I like the way I feel about it. The next time you want to feel the same way, and you feel like when you increase the dose you took the last time, you can even feel much more better than the one you felt before. So that was how this addiction came about. So that was what led to the issue of addiction. So now we are going to the statistics of drug abuse. We are going to look at it even in our country, Nigeria, the heavy statistics of drug abuse. You'll be amazed at the large number of people that are addicted, either to drug, to alcohol use, one of the two. You'll be amazed at the large number, starting from the teenagers, the youth, even to our elderly. People are addicted out there. So the statistics of drug abuse. Drug abuse is an emerging public issue. The recent World Drug Report in 2021 of the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, that is the UNODC, estimated that 275 million of the global population aged between 15 and 64 years had used drugs in the previous year. Also, it has been projected that 36 million individuals will be experiencing drug use disorder. Further, the Global Burden of Disease Study 2017 estimated that in 2017 there were 585,000 deaths due to drug use globally. Nigeria, which is the most populous country in Africa, has developed a reputation as a center for drug trafficking and usage, mostly among the youth population. According to the 2018 UNODC report, drug use in Nigeria, which is quoted drug use in Nigeria, the large-scale nationwide national drug use survey in Nigeria, 1 in 7 persons aged between 15 to 64 years had used a drug in the past year. Also, 1 in 5 individuals who had used drug in the past year is suffering from drug-related disorder. As the 2018 National Drug Use survey reviewed in Nigeria. At that time, there were around 14.3 million drug users, of which close to 3 million suffered a drug use disorder. It is considered that there are 11 million cannabis users in Nigeria, a third of whom seems to be a regular user. This is really, how do I put it, like, it's surprising, and I can also say it's not surprising because the area at which I live, this is every day you get to see people, you get to see these youths taking this drug, and I always wonder what led to what. We'll be going into that in my next video, but let's talk about it now. Look at the large number of people that are taking drugs, and not even that, there are records of the people that are affected by this use of drugs. But why exactly are they not stopping it? Why exactly are they not really trying to like drop it, even when it has a negative impact on themselves? And when we look at this, don't forget that our topic is looking at it among teenagers. I'm just trying to give us a brief history and a brief explanation of where all this started from, all the statistics. It's not surprising to me at the large number of the large number that we have on the statistics, both in the effect and the people that are using it. Because even in the environment at which I am, I see youths take, even not just the youths now, teenagers, adults use drugs on a daily basis, and these are regular users of drugs. What will become of these people in the next 5-10 years? That is really like the burden in my heart, which is why I decided to treat this topic. And to my amazement, one day I was around my area and I was trying to talk to a guy who is also like a drug addict. Not just a drug addict, like he sells the drug itself. So I was trying to engage him, and to my surprise, in the few minutes that I spent there, I saw young, when I'm talking about young people, that teenagers coming to acquire this drug from him, they did not even look at the fact that a total stranger and a female was standing there. They did not even care about me. They still bought, like, they have some codes that they use. They don't really call the name like we know it, like they just give the guy a name and he understands what they want to buy. But to my shock is that, why are these teenagers, why are they exposed to drug usage at this tender age? What's really going on in let's come to our nation, let's come down now to Nigeria. What's the problem? Why do we have high number of drug users, high number of drug addicts, even among the youth and teenagers? You just go everywhere these days and you are shocked at things. You are shocked. There's some of the kids that we grew up together in my environment, and these days I just see them smoking, and I'm like, wow, how did this boy resort to this? I know it's more high on the male side than the female side, but nevertheless, there are still females that smoke. There are still young youths and teenagers that smoke, which are that are females. So it's not just about the female now. We are looking at, it's not just about the male, rather it's about both genders. Like, what are we really doing to curb this act? What are we really doing to help these people? What are we really doing to help these teenagers, these children? I believe that nobody can be addicted to drugs at that age and still turn out to be someone great in life. That's my belief. I don't know about someone else, because when I see you being addicted to drugs, do you know what addiction means? It means that you go out of your way to get that drug. It means that you go out of your way to get what you want at that moment. You cannot just do without it. That was why I gave us the brief introduction, the definitions of addiction, before we moved into this video, so that we'll have the understanding of it. If I'm addicted to something, meaning that in a day, if I don't take that drug, I'm not myself. Meaning that in a day, if I don't drink that alcohol, I'm not myself. And this is what we are experiencing out there. And let's not forget that this is not just affect. This is not, you cannot just say it's none of my business. It is affecting everybody, because the same set of people that are addicted to drugs, you see them naturally, they are involved in crimes. Naturally, it's like that. Because once they are addicted, they have to go out of their way to provide for what they need. And I'm surprised at what the parents are doing, looking at these young children with bright futures get addicted to drugs. Most of them don't even know about it. Like that day, I met a particular boy, and I've always seen him in my area. You will never believe that such a kid could be involved in such an act, because even his appearance, he looks calm, he looks gentle, he looks like he's easygoing. But to my amusement is that this boy is also a drug user, and I'm like, wow. So all that made me think, made me sit down, and made me see that, okay, Favor, let's address this issue. It's a pain in my heart, and I really want it to be a pain in everybody's heart. How will we have such a large number of people, even among teenagers, that are drug users? What is the country? Where are we going to when it comes to this? Where are we going to? How are we trying to help these people? So not just me, if you know that there are things you can also send down that we can talk about that can help or that can contribute to this, a way to curb it, a way to advise, a way to reach out to the same set of people, you can reach out to me in any of my social media platforms. I'm ready to take in as much contribution as I can. I'm ready to take in as much people as I can. A time is coming whereby we'll bring people here to come and also talk about it. So I want us to hear from different perspectives, from the parents, even from the youth, from the teenagers. So a time is coming where we'll do that. So if you have anything to contribute to this, you can as well just drop it on any of my social media platforms. And like I said, this is not the end of this. We are going to look at the causes, the types of addiction. We are going to look at the symptoms, the effects, the consequences of all this. So just into this video is just the introduction and the brief history of this, because I want us to get familiar and we should be knowledgeable about whatever we are dealing with. You cannot deal with something if you don't really know what it is all about. So that is what today's video is all about. So in the next video, we're talking about the causes and the symptoms. So make sure that you stay tuned and you make sure that you watch it. And if there are people around you that you feel that really needs to see this video, please be sure, be generous enough to like share it with them. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for always being on this channel. And if you know you've not subscribed, make sure you click on that subscribe button. I'm still Oswald Favor. Thank you very much.